Krishna must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank you everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning? Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण राधा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, प्रीतिदासी from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your beautiful association every day on first call. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Happy Ekadasi Mataji to all devotees on the call. Hare Krishna.
Happy Ekadasi to Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dinvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago, and happy Ekadashi to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving your beautiful association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania, and happy Ekadashi, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your beautiful association. Happy Ekadasi to Mataji. Hare Bol.
And
Hare Krishna,
congratulations.
Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago, and happy Ekadashi to all the devotees.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Happy Ekadasi to Mataji. Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devadasi from Texas. Congratulations to you and happy Ekadasi, whoever celebrating. And still I am also celebrating. Fast break is very late for me today. Hare Bol.
Thank you so much, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call and giving your beautiful association, beautiful services, and also Hare Bol Mataji. Happy Ekadasi to Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shamagori Devdasi from Charlotte. Congratulations, Mataji, for your initiation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Mataji. This is happened all because of Bhakti Sangha group devotees. Mataji, please bless me and keep doing service to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Hare Bol. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Shyamagauri Mataji. Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving your association, for joining the call. Hare Bol. Happy Ekadasi to Mataji.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Radha
Radha
Mataji.
Pyari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Kamadiki Dasi from Baltimore. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mother Kamadiki Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Thank you everything, Mataji. That day you came and gave very blessings, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Happy Ekadasi to the Hare Bol.
Happy
Hare
Ekadashi
Krishna,
to
Radha
you
Mataji.
and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji. All goes to Prabhupada, all goes to all the Guru Maharajas, and all goes to all the wonderful devotees in Bhakti Sangha. And congratulations for you, your initiations, and wish you all the best. And wish you just progress so more that you get Krishna Prema in this very life. And all the best. And thanks for Japa Sangha. Today I was very happy chanting with first day when I joined. I want to join every day for the chanting. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, please join every day, Prabhuji. It's very beautiful chanting. All the devotees are on the call. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your blessings. And thank you everything, Prabhuji. Happy Ekadasi to always to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call and giving your association every day. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji,
Hare
please.
Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees. Congrats for your initiation once again, Mataji. Happy Ekadashi, Mataji, to you and all the assembled devotees. This is Anita from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Thank you for beautiful your wishes. And happy Ekadasi to Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Many congratulations on your initiation, Mataji. It was beautiful. We all witnessed through videos, and so happy for you, Mataji. And thank you. And I'm sure your Guru Maharaj must be so pleased with your all the services. Please continue being with us. Thank you for your association. This is Anuradha Devidasi from Dallas, Texas.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you so much. Your blessings, Mataji. Sure, Mataji. I will follow the Guru Maharaj service and all the devotee services. Thank you so much. Dhanavad Pranam all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji, and for giving your association and blessings. Happy Ekadasi to Mataji. Haribol, Anuradha Mataji.
My prayers, Mataji. I'm not qualified to give blessings, but my prayers, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavad.
I will be back in 1 minute. My computer charging is going to end. 1 minute, please. Sorry for the inconvenience. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Priya Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi. Congratulations, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining and giving your association, Mataji. Happy Ekadasi. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, and all glories to assembled devotees. This is Charu from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Charu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for joining, Mataji, and giving your association. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadasi, Mataji. Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Happy Ekadashi to all. Madhav Tithi ki jai. Bhakti Janani Tithi ki jai. Harivasar Tithi ki jai. Hare Krishna, Mataji. This is Pooja Arora from Haridwar.
Hare Krishna, Pooja Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving your association. Happy Ekadasi to Mataji. Haribol.
Haribol, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanva pranam to you and all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Very congratulations to you, Mataji. What a beautiful name your Guru Maharaj has given to you, Radha Pyari Mataji. That's amazing. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for all your services. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Lovely wishes. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving your association every day. Happy Ekadasi to Prabhuji. Haribol. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam 6th Canto, 1st chapter, text 37 onwards. First, I would like to hand over call to Suresham Prabhuji or Raj Prabhuji. Yeah, Suresham Prabhuji. Yeah. Hare Krishna Shri Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving your beautiful introduction. Hare Bol, I would like to hand over call to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Here is a brief introduction about Sukumar Gaur Prabhu. His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhu was born in Maharashtra, India, brought up in a social background where spirituality was often questioned. Later, he developed a natural taste for inquiring into the mysteries of God's creation. Passed out from the College of Engineering, Pune, in mechanical engineering, he came in touch with devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 2003. He found all his questions answered in the books of Srila Prabhupada. As a student of MBA Finance, he studied Srila Prabhupada's books and became a sincere practitioner. He joined the NCDX as an assistant manager and worked for 3 years. Later, he took on a 2-year brahmachari training course in Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple, Mumbai, and was initiated into Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya, Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 2010. Prabhuji was in the youth preaching department and was in the seva of guiding the youth. He always wanted to share his joy of Krishna consciousness with youth. So he gave up his job and decided to help the misguided youth by helping them understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. He joined ISKCON Chowpatty as a resident in 2009. Later, he was posted to ISKCON Nasik Temple. He is serving as youth counselor in various colleges of Nasik. He conducts seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sector. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. This is a brief introduction about Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Nice introduction. Hare Krishna, His Grace Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All wish to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now I would like to hand over call to Prabhuji. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call, Prabhuji. Happy Ekadasi.
Happy Ekadasi. You can hear me, Mataji? My voice is audible.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So we will start with Mangalacharan, then we'll take the shloka and translation purpose. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanditamscha He Krishna Karuna Sandhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sandubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktavran Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna. So today we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, text number 37. The text goes like this. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti Ukte Yamadutaiste Vasudevokta Karane Tan Pratyucha Prahasyedam Mega Nirradaya Gira. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shukdev Goswami continued. Being thus addressed by the messengers of Yamaraj, the servants of Vasudev smiled and spoke the following words in deep voice. deep in voice as deep as the sound of rumbling clouds. Purport. The Yamdutas were surprised to see that the Vishnudutas, although polite, were hindering the rule of Yamaraj. Similarly, the Vishnudutas were also surprised that the Yamadutas, although claiming to be the servants of Yamaraj, the supreme judge of religious principles, were unaware of the principle of religious action. Thus the Vishnuduta smiled, thinking, what is this nonsense they are speaking? If they are actually servants of Yamaraj, they should know that Ajamil is not a suitable candidate for them to carry off. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees here on call and really grateful to Bhakti Sangha Japa Conference and the organizers of this Bhagavad class that I'm being allowed to make a presentation on Srimad Bhagavatam on this very auspicious day of Ekadashi. So grateful to all of you for being here on this class today. So this is a very exciting chapter and the exciting section which is very popularly spoken in amongst ISKCON devotees. So this is the chapter is entitled The History of the Life of Ajamil. So this first chapter starts by the recap that Parikshit Maharaj does before he enters into the 6th canto, which is the among the 9 topics, it's the part where the Lord provides protection to his devotees, and not only protection but also the nourishment that the Lord provides for his devotees. So Parikshit Maharaj starts by saying that in Canto 2 you spoke about the Nivritti Marg. Nivritti Marg is the gradual elevation to Brahmalok, and from Brahmalok the Jiva attains liberation along with Lord Brahma. Then he says that in Canto 3 you spoke about the Pravritti Marg, the path of elevation to heavenly planets, and from there the Jiva may come back again here in this material world and has to enter the cycle of samsara, birth and death. Then he says in 4th canto you spoke about the first Manvantara, Swayambhuva Manu. In Canto 4 and 5 you spoke about the dynasties of the sons of Swayambhuva Manu, especially Priyavrata and Uttanapad. And in Canto 5 you spoke about the cosmology, and in the last part of 5th canto of the cosmology you spoke about the hellish conditions of life, which are and the various factors which lead to them. So when Parikshit Maharaj is hearing about this hellish conditions and the jiva suffering there, his heart, being the heart of a devotee, is immediately melted, seeing the pitiable condition of the jivas. And immediately in the 6th shloka he speaks about in the shloka he is speaking about how to stop this terrible suffering of the conditioned soul. In the 6th shloka he speaks, and from 7 to 19 then Parikshit Maharaj will be testing. Parikshit Maharaj tests his own disciple as to what is his understanding about what he has taught till now. So Shukadev Goswami will present how the jiva can come out of the suffering condition, and he speaks about atonement as a solution to stop the painful condition of the jiva. Then he makes a presentation saying that atonement can be done in 3 ways. Atonement can be done by karma kand, it can be done by gyan or increasing the knowledge and hence stopping the sinful activity, and also by bhakti. And in this, when karma kand is presented as the solution, Parikshit Maharaj immediately says this is not the right kind of solution. Then he says gyan is also not the right kind of solution, because gyan has to be supported by vigyan. Just like somebody may have an habit of drinking alcohol, he just has the knowledge that okay, it is not good for health, but when he goes through the entire process of realization and experiences, then he comes to something called as specific knowledge, which we call as vigyan, vishishta gyan, and then he comes to a very firm and precise conclusion that yes, liquor is in any amount is injurious to health. So that is how gyan is not the right kind of atonement. This is what Parikshit Maharaj says. And then bhakti comes, and bhakti is the best kind of atonement. So he says, na tata agavan rajan puye tatapa adivi. Agavan means a sinful person. Puyet means purified. Tapa adivi. He cannot be completely purified by tap and other processes. But on the contrary, Yatha Krishna Arpita Prana. But if he offers his existence in service to Lord Krishna, Tat Purushani Sevaya, in service to Lord Krishna, he is immediately purified. So other processes are compared here, especially with the bhakti process. And he says that bhakti has a very pertinent and a specific way of purifying every sadhaka. So then the immediate question that arises is, who follows this path of bhakti and what is the benefit? Then he says, Sadri chino hi ayam loke panta kshema akuto bhayam. Sushilo sadhavo yatra narayana prana. The devotees who are constantly thinking and meditating and worshipping Lord Narayan, how are they? Sushila, sadhavo. They are highly cultured, highly evolved in their behavior, in their emotions. Sadhava. And Sadrichino, they have found this method very appropriate. Ayam ihaloke. In this world, this is the most appropriate method so that the jiva can get very quickly and easily purified. And immediately in the next shloka, he'll be comparing with other methods. So he says, rest, all other methods are ineffective to purify the mind completely. He says, Prayas chittani chirani narayana paranmukha. So in the previous shloka, he is saying Narayana parayana, means those who are devoted to Lord Narayan. And in the second shloka, he is saying Narayana paranmukha, those who are averse to the lotus feet of Lord Narayana. Prayas chittani chirani, even whatever kind of atonement they may perform. How? Chirani, very nicely. Na nishpunanti Rajendra. It will not purify the sadhaka or the jiva completely. Example is given, Sura Kumbha Ivapaka. If a vessel which has held liquor for some time, even if you wash it thousands of times in water, it will not get purified. Because that culture of the wine being put in the pot will always remain in the pot. So you have to ultimately destroy the pot. That's the only solution. And then in the following verses, he says that a devotee, even if he remembers the lotus feet of Lord Narayan once, or even if he chants the name of Lord Narayan once, Yamdutas will never be seen by that jiva. Sakrin mana Krishna padaravindayo niveshitam tad gunaragi yer iha. Nate yamas pasha vritascha tad bhatan. Neither yama nor his pash, neither his bhatan, his servants. Swapne api pashyati. Not even in dreams he'll be seeing Lord Yamraj or his pasha or his servants. He chiran nishkritaha. So what is the criteria of not seeing? Sakrin manaha. Even if in mind a person thinks about Lord Narayan or Lord Krishna or Lord Ram for a moment or even a single time, Mana Krishna Padaravinda, even once, even if he thinks about the toenails of Lord, even that is sufficient. Niveshitat gunaragi area. Or even once he has spoken of something good about devotees of the Lord or the holy names of the Lord or some pastime of the Lord, that in itself is sufficient. Purification has already begun. Okay, so he has already started the process of atonement. Now, atonement is an English word. Okay, it doesn't precisely match with what the Shastras have to offer. It is not even very close to what the Shastras have to present in terms. Okay, so that's the only term Srila Prabhupada found was very suitable to what he had to present here. So he is using this word. But actual word which is presented in the Shastras and Prabhupada elaborating on that word is the Prayaschitta. Now, what is the Prayaschitta? Prayaschitta is Praya, I think a Chitta. Chitta is our basic natural constitution position or our natural mindset. Okay. And Praya, initially, previously, originally, that pure state which can be reached by any method, that is called as Prayaschitta. Method by which we can reach back to our original state of consciousness, that is called as Prayaschitta. Okay. For example, let's understand this principle. If someone has an unhealthy state of body, okay, so how can that person get back his healthy body again? So there are two things. Okay, modern science calls this as imitating the perfect state of health. Okay, imitation means it is not actually there, but still you try and follow it, and then you reverse back the entire process. Okay, this is called as imitating the perfect state of health. For example, if a person is sick, so he has to do all that which he was doing when he was in healthy state of body and mind, along with taking of the medicines. So gradually what happens, he will gradually reach back to his healthy state of mind or healthy state of body. So this is exactly what we are doing in Prayaschitta. We are doing Prayaschitta. Why? Because we have to reach back to our original swabhava, our normal and natural consciousness. We have to do all those activities which were already been doing. Just like in the spiritual world, what we do, we love and serve Krishna. So that in itself becomes my medicine and my way of atonement. That in itself is atonement. Atonement is nothing else than imitating our natural state of consciousness, the natural activities which we are doing. When we start doing those activities, automatically the bhava, the disease of the material state is completely starts dismantling and destroying and start getting destroyed. Why? Because Krishna is Shuddham Apapaviddham. He is completely pure, and coming in close contact with Krishna, some way or the other, will also destroy our impurity. So here he is comparing the contact of Krishna, name, fame, form, pastimes, and qualities are in itself Shuddham, and they destroy the Papa or the proclivity to sin, which other process take a very long time, and they don't guarantee that it will completely vanish. Okay, so he is saying all other states are unnatural because they are nowhere close to the natural state of functioning. And that is why they are called as unnatural. Even Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, chapter 24, 92 and 93, this point is brought up. Bhakti vina kono sadhana dite nara phale, sabab phale dei bhakti swatantra prabhale. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Bhakti Swatantra Prabhale. Bhakti or the actions in Bhakti are Swatantra. They are independent. They don't depend on any other action. Okay. And they are Prabhala. They are so strong that just by performing Bhakti, it is sufficient. Sabha Phalade. It can give us any kind of result which we desire. That is the Swatantra. That is the independent nature and the strength of Bhakti. Second, he describes the same point with an example. Why Bhakti is so powerful and it can produce any result? Then he's saying in the next shloka, 93rd shloka, Ajagala sthana nae aya anya sadhana ateva hari bhajan buddhimana jana. He's saying, how are the other processes? He's comparing other processes to Ajagala sthana. Ajagala sthana means, I don't know if it in West it is like that, but here in India we have some goats who have nipples hanging their neck. So if somebody desires to have milk, so he cannot get milk from the nipples which are hanging on the neck of the goat. Okay, why? Because they don't produce milk. Similarly, other processes don't produce the milk which is compared to Krishna Prem. Only Hari Bhajan, Hari Smaran, Hari Kirtan, Hari Seva has the actual strength to produce Prem. And that is why all other processes are useless and unnatural in terms of producing Krishna Prem. Okay. And this is one of the important reasons that why Shukdev Goswami has kept actually the text or the entire Bhagavad should have ended on note of bhakti, but it is not ending on note of bhakti, it is ending on note of Gyan. Because those who are not devotees will say that Gyan is the only thing that Shukdev Goswami wanted to present. Hence, Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to four things, and among the four things, one of that is Mohini Murti. What did Mohini Murti do? She focused, she attracted the attention of the demons and made it focus on something that was not so important. What was not so important? What was important was the nectar. But they focused their entire attention on the smiling face of Mohini Murti, and thus they couldn't reach the nectar. And that is what exactly Shukdev Goswami has done. He has kept bhakti so hidden that most of the people find bhakti very simple and not very practical. And that is why bhakti has the power in itself to destroy all the anarthas and at the same time give what? Krishna Prem, which is the actual effect which bhakti has to produce. Okay. Now, sometimes devotees have this question, which is usually and often asked in devotee communities. They say that we have been practicing bhakti or devotional practices for so long, but we don't see difference in our own self. So we conduct programs in villages here, and most of the time, many people do attend the satsang programs. So we have one devotee couple who has been coming to the satsang for almost like 5-6 years now. And that devotee, that the lady of that in that family, she's at a senior position in an educational institute. So I frequently visit that educational institute. We have some programs there. So there is one person who doesn't like this devotee lady, and whenever I go, he is very nice to me. He speaks very nicely, but he has this one question that she has been coming to your satsang for now 6 years, 5 years, but we don't find any change in her. So one day he directly spoke to me, and I was also not very happy when I heard this. And I was constantly thinking as to how can I answer this question of this person. And I was constantly thinking, and we have to travel on buses here, public transport. It takes almost 1 hour to reach the place and come back. So I was thinking, so one of our devotees, he also works in that institute, but in other department. He is in pharmacy department. So that day he missed his car, the vehicle by which they all travel in group. So somehow he missed it, and so he was traveling with me in the public transport. So we together traveled in the bus, and he started telling all that is happening in his pharmacy college, what kind of researches they are all doing. So I said, Prabhuji, don't you feel that you're telling we have recent drugs and we have modern drugs and this drugs and that? But I said, still people are dying. What's the use of you making so many new kinds of drugs? Generation 1, generation 2, generation 3. So he started laughing. He said, yes, Prabhuji, that is true. And then he made a very nice point that came out to be answer to my question. He said, Prabhuji, the success of any medicine is not that it should be able to cure the disease entirely, but at times holding back the disease by the medicine in itself is considered to be the success of the medicine. So it need not be that the medicine will completely eradicate the disease. At times, the disease is so heavy and so strong that just holding it back for a long period of time in itself is the success of the medicine. Same thing applies with us. We have been in this material world for so long, that the disease is so old that by chanting, even if we are not falling back into our previous karmi life, in itself is success of chanting and devotional practice. That in itself shows that devotional practices do have the power. If it is holding back right now, and if we continue, surely over a period of time, the disease, the bhava rog has to go, has to be completely eradicated. The only thing is we have to keep on taking the medicines. Okay. So that same point is elaborated here in the 19th shloka, and the story of Ajamil starts. Okay, so from shloka number 20 to shloka number 29, his past is narrated and how he gets involved with the prostitute, and he has 10 sons, and at the end of his life he calls out the name of Narayan. And in shloka number 30, the Vishnu Dutas arrive, seeing Ajamil has chanted the name of their master. 31st shloka, they stop the Yamdutas from doing their duty. And the previous section, 32 to 36, Yamadutas ask them, who are you? Why are you stopping us from performing our daily duties? And they see the beautiful form, and the beautiful form of the Vishnu Dutas is described there. And this today's shloka, 37 shloka, is now describing the mindset of both the parties. 37 shlokas, the mindset of Vishnu Dutas and the mindset of Yamadutas, both is described. Both are looking towards each other as to why you are stopping me. Why you are stopping me? This is the question before them. Now here we see that the Vishnu Dutas are smiling. Why did the Vishnu Dutas smile? They felt, Prabhupada writes in the purport, they were smiling because they felt that these people, the Yamdutas, have come here as representatives of the Dharmaraj, the person who is the topmost authority of Dharma. But it is such a piteous condition that they don't know what actually Dharma is. They are just making a show off. And to break down their show off, they have heavily spoken. The word here used is, their words were how? Prati Uchu Mega Nirradaya. Mega Nirradaya, they were resounding like rumbling cloud. That was the loud sound of the Vishnu Duta. Okay. So to break their show off, they spoke so loudly. But the interesting point here is they were still speaking with great respect. This is the quality of a Vaishnava that we have to highlight. Okay. They were speaking what was supposed to be spoken, but it was so respectful. It was so respectful that the Yamadutas didn't feel disrespected. That is how they spoke. Okay, so this is point number one. Now, smile is always a thing which has hidden meanings. Bhagavat, if you check Bhagavat, there are so many events where people have smiled having different intentions. I'll just present 3 examples. I found at least 10 examples in Bhagavat, okay, where the smile had a hidden agenda or a hidden meaning or something to give an indication. Just like in the 8th canto, we see Lord Shankar, Lord Shiva, when he's hearing from all the demigods that Lord had taken a form of a lady, a beautiful lady, Mohini Murti. So he felt that, oh, I missed seeing that beautiful form of the Lord. And he takes Parvati along with him, Parvati Devi along with him, and says, okay, let's go and have darshan of the Lord. It's long time now, we haven't seen him, let's go and see. So he takes Durga ji, Parvati ji along with him. And Lord welcomes them and asks Lord Shiva, oh, how are you all doing? And what is the way that I can serve both of you? And that is where Lord Shiva makes this unusual respect. He says, my dear Lord, I heard that you have taken this form of Mohini Murti, and I desire to see that form. And there is one word that is used by Shukdev Goswami, the Lord smiles. He just smiles. And what is the word used? Prahasya Bhava Gambhiram. The smile in itself was Gambhir. Now, a smile cannot be Gambhir. These are two absolutely different and contradictory words. When you smile, there is nothing that is so heavy and Gambhir about it. But how is the Lord smile? Prahasya Bhava Gambhiram. There was a bhav which was very Gambhir, which was very heavy. But still the Lord was smiling. Now, why was the Lord smiling? Because he thought, here is Lord Shiva, who is the Dhira Purusha. He's staying with Parvati, the external energy of the Supreme Lord, the Maya Shakti of the Lord, and still he is so sober. How is it that I can bewilder him now? So that is why the Lord smiles. Prahasyam Bhava Gambhiram. And again, the second hidden meaning Acharyas say, the Lord smiled because now Lord will actually bewilder Lord Shiva. Not by his external energy, but by his internal energy, he will be bewildering Lord Shiva. And that is where Prabhupada makes this point, that how curiosity into material existence tricks the jiva and gets him into the material existence. So curiosity can get the worst out of us. And that is what exactly happens with Lord Shiva. Second, we can see is in when Lord Krishna gets the letter of Srimati Rukmini Devi, and she tells Lord that you come and kidnap me from this place. And the Lord does. As soon as he gets her on the Ratha, she is in such an intense situation. Now imagine Rukmini is driving the Ratha and Lord Krishna is facing back and seeing who is coming to attack. And at that time, Lord Krishna smiles. Why he smiles? Looking at Rukmini, he says, don't worry. To ease her fear, he's smiling. He says, don't worry. See there, Balaramji has already come with the Yadu Sena, and now we will be defeating Shishupal. So just to ease that, he smiled. And that smile eased her fear so much that she was able to continue on with Lord Krishna. We see in Gita, Lord Krishna smiles to Arjuna in chapter number 2. Arjuna says that Shishyastayam Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. I am your surrendered disciple. And immediately in the 9th shloka, he says, I will not fight. So Krishna is smiling. First of all, my friend has become my disciple. And secondly, what kind of a disciple is he? I should instruct him to do something, and he is instructing me, I will not fight. So that is why Lord Krishna smiles. Then we have Naranarayan Rishi smiling to Indra. When Indra brings all his entourage along with Kamdev and makes such a fabulous environment, which is so passionate in nature. And just Lord opens his eyes and sees to Indra. And when Indra sees that there is absolute no difference in the mind of Naranarayan Rishi, he is so humbled. And that is where Lord Narayan Rishi smiles at Indra, saying, don't worry, you take Urvashi. And he gives Urvashi as gift, because he says, I am not disturbed, and you even don't try, because it's wastage of time. You go back. So smile in itself has a message to give. And here the Vishnu Dutas gave a message that, please understand, you are wrong. You don't understand what actual religion is. So that was a hidden message that was given to them. Now, the interesting point which is brought about here by the Acharyas is, both the parties, Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas, they are both order carriers of the Lord. Okay. Yamadutas are order carriers of whom? Yamaraj. And whom has Yamaraj been appointed by? He has been appointed by Lord Krishna himself. Okay. Vishnu Dutas, who are they? They are the direct order carriers of Lord Vishnu. Now, both the parties are doing their duties as per the vision they have developed, as per the vision they are being trained to see. Now, let's look at the vision of both the parties. Yamdutas, day in, day out, have the vision of right, wrong, good, bad. Their vision is trained in duality, and that is why the material platform is called the world of duality. And that is what they're exactly and precisely trained. And that is why they are seeing only the negative part of Ajamil. He is a sinful person and he has to be taken. That is what they are trained in. The whole life they are doing Papa Punya, telling all those things. And what did they take from the life of Ajamil? They only say that he is sinful. They didn't even speak about anything good that he has done in life. His previous life was also not considered. When he was a very good Brahmana, the 12 qualities of Ajamil, they are not focusing there. They are focusing, he's a sinful person, he's a sinful person, he has to be punished, he has to be punished. Because that is what they have been trained in. On the contrary, look at the Vishnu Dutas. In the entire 88 years of life that Ajamil has lived, they didn't pick up anything that was scrap, anything that was sinful. They only picked up the chanting of the holy names of Lord Narayan. They didn't focus anywhere else. Their entire focus was, how is he in some way or the other connected to his eternal nature? How is he connected to Lord Narayan? And they saw his connection to Lord Narayan by his chanting. They went beyond duality. They went beyond right and wrong. They only focused on what is the exact nature of the soul, which is beyond duality. And that is what spiritual world is about. Spiritual world is not about papa, punya, right, wrong, injustice. No, it is not there. It is world free of duality. Now, how did the Vishnu Dutas get this? Because they are in constant association of the Lord, and it is the primary nature of the Lord that he is above duality. For example, the Sri Sampradaya Acharyas, they explain an event. Okay, they explain an event where Aarti of the Supreme Lord Narayan is taking place in Vaikuntha. And when this Aarti is taking place, all of a sudden, while performing the Aarti, Aarti is taking place, and at that time, Mother Lakshmi looks at the face of Lord Narayan. And looking at the face of Lord Narayan, she understands that he is not comfortable. There is something else on his mind. Externally, he is smiling, but there is something internally going on. And that is the time when she realizes that he is about to leave Vaikuntha for taking another avatar. She chastises Lord Narayan. She says, don't you understand? Just now you went for Prahlad, you rescued Prahlad, you took the form of Narasimha, and here in the next moment you are here and devotees are so happy seeing you come back and they're performing your artis. Don't you feel concern about the devotees of Vaikuntha? This is the Lord. And even after Lakshmi Devi saying this, he is still not very comfortable. And when they start offering dhoop, now that dhoop, we know it has smoke, a lot of smoke comes out from the dhoop. And when the dhoop is completely burned and there is a lot of smoke that is there, the time when the dhoop offering started and the smoke was created to the time the next element in the arti plate was taken, by that time, taking the help of the smoke, Lord left Vaikuntha, came back here, performed all his Leela, gave assurance to the devotees, don't worry, I am there for you. And before the dhoop was over, Lord was present in Vaikuntha. This is how much the Lord loves us. He is nothing but in search of opportunities to come back, reassure us, keep telling us that just keep on practicing, I will come back to you. So Lord doesn't have only one aspect. We know only one aspect. The Lord will punish. The Lord will punish. No, it is not that. He has both aspects. He has daya, he has danda. Both have to be taken into consideration. I'll tell you one story from Ramayana. We know the story, but I'll just elaborate on the story. It's a commonly told story. Okay. Now we all know that Lord Ram and Mata Sita are in 14 years of exile, Vanvas. Okay. And during the exile, there is one episode which takes place where the son of Indra, Jayanta, comes as a crow, and in the afternoon time, Lord is resting on the lap of Mother Sita. Jayanta comes as a crow. He keeps walking very close, and Mother Sita is shooing him off shoe. Why? Because Lord is sleeping, don't disturb him. She is shooing the crow off, but the more she is shooing off, he is coming closer, closer. And there is a point when she understands that this crow is not a crow, he is something else, he is somebody else. And at that time, what Jayanta does is he directly flies and he bites the chest of Mother Sita. Now, she is not concerned about the pain that she has to go. She is more concerned about the pleasure of the Lord. So, what is the pleasure? Lord is desiring to take rest. So, she is allowing the Lord to take rest. In the while, he is biting her and blood starts oozing off her body. And that blood, which is very hot and warm, falls on the body of Lord Ram and breaks his sleep. And Lord, when he sees the blood, he understands that her chest has got hurt. And immediately he shouts, who has done this to you? Now look at Mother Sita. She's absolutely not answering anything. She's saying, forget it. You don't worry. I'll take care of this. This is not a very big deal. Why? Because along with the pleasure of the Lord, she is also concerned with Jayanta. See, it is coexistential. We feel, oh, Radha and Krishna only in the spiritual world and they are enjoying. No. Look at Mother Sita. Along with Lord Ram, she is highly concerned about Jayanta. And she doesn't speak a word. But look at the arrogance of Jayanta. He starts making sound. And that is where the Lord realizes this is the culprit. At that time, Lord is shouting, where is my bow? Where is my bow? Because he's not able to find his bow. Now, why was the bow not there? Because it was an intimate time which both of them were going to spend. Lord Ram brought flowers for Mother Sita. He made a beautiful garland. He combed her hair. And all those events took place before that. And it was an intimate pastime of both of them. So there was no need of bow. So the Lord had kept his bow in his kutir. So there was no bow. Now the Lord was so angry. He said, I have to punish this person anyhow. So he takes up a blade of grass, converts it into a Brahmastra and throws at the crow. Now, as soon as the crow understands, this is not an ordinary weapon, this is a Brahmastra, he runs. Now we know he runs everywhere. He goes in and out, but nobody, neither his father, Indra, neither his mother, Shachi, they say, don't wait here, get out of here. He is going to Lord Shiva, he is going to Lord Brahma, nobody entertains. He says, get out of here. Now, one person comes to his rescue. Who is that? It is Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is seeing Jayanta run. He is running like crazy. Now, in Jayanta doesn't see Narad Muni, but Narad Muni sees Jayanta. Now, this is the difference. We seeing Guru and Guru Maharaj seeing us is absolutely different thing. When Guru Maharaj sees us, he scans. He understands what is his position. Okay. So Narad Muni could immediately understand. Now, what was Jayanta's attitude towards Narad Muni? Whenever Narad Muni used to visit Indraloka, Jayanta would always see him coming in and out. Narad Muni. Okay. So he didn't give much respect. He said it's just like an ordinary sadhu. He keeps coming back to my father and asking for help and maybe something petty. So he never gave any respect to Narad Muni. But in spite of all this, Narad Muni is having so much of mercy in his heart, so much of compassion. He goes to Jayant. No, Jayant is not seeing Narad Muni, but he purposefully goes to Jayant and tells what has happened. He says, sir, get out of my way. That Brahmastra is following me. If I wait here, I'll get burnt to ashes. He says, what happened? He said, I committed a blunder, a major blunder, and I am suffering badly now. He says, what happened? So he told this I did. He says, okay, don't worry. Narad Muni told him, you have seen the prabhava of Shri Ram, but you have forgot to see one thing. That is the swabhava of Shri Ram. He says, you saw his prabhava, but you didn't see his swabhava. So he says, what is the swabhava of Lord Ram? He says, the swabhava of Lord Ram is so compassionate. He is so compassionate to the surrendered soul. So Narad Muni says, go from here chanting the names of Lord Ram and fall at the feet of Lord Ram. And that is what exactly Jayanta does. He is chanting the names Ram, Ram, and he goes and falls at the feet. And when he falls on his back. Usually, when a bird falls on his back, it is supposed that he is about to die now. Okay, this is the usual convention that is seen in the bird family. So he falls on his back, but his head is on the feet of Lord Ram and he's chanting Ram, Ram. And he's saying, save me, save me, save me. That is the time when Mother Sita sees. Okay, Mother Sita sees that here is a person who is chanting the names of Lord Ram and surrendering to Lord Ram. That is the time when Mother Sita reminds the Lord that you have promised to save anybody and everybody who is surrendering to you. Despite the fact that he has committed any blunder, this is your vow. How can you reject him? Koti Vipravada. She is saying, even if a person has killed Koti, means crores of Brahmanas, still you can forgive if he has surrendered to you. So Lord Ram, then there is a discussion between Lord Ram and Mother Sita. Lord Ram says, it is okay. He may be looking exactly like he has surrendered to me. But surrender happens only through agency of a guru. Where is his guru? Who is his guru? Then Mother Sita doesn't say, I am his guru. Of course, she is the guru of the entire creation, no doubt. But she knows that he has been sent by whom? Narad Muni. So she tells Lord Ram that he has been guided by a great saint called Narad Muni, and all saints are equivalent to Guru. So he already has a Guru. And what is the instruction of his Guru? His Guru has already told him, chant the names of Lord Ram, and he's chanting his names. What else happens in Diksha? Disciples take shelter of Guru. Guru tells him to chant the names of Lord and surrender to the Lord. This is what exactly he has done. He has already been initiated. Look, Mother Sita is saying. Then Lord Ram says, Arey, Diksha is not a walking, talking affair. There are so many formalities in Diksha. What formalities he has completed? Then Mother Sita says, he has completed all formalities. You don't worry. He says, tell what formalities he has completed. So then Mother Sita says, you have walked over this forest of Chitrakoot. Everywhere your dust which has touched your lotus feet is present. He has fallen in that same dust. So already the dust is on his forehead. Look, here is the tilak. Marking of the tilak of the dust which has been touched by your lotus feet. Then second, she says, during Diksha, Guru will give you that Kantimala. I held his neck. My hands are not different from Tulsi. My body is not different from the body of Tulsi. So I have held his neck, which is equivalent to the Kantimala. Third, she says, all my nails have all the different weapons in my fingers. I have touched him with my hands. So means all the chapa samskaras in these Shri Sampradaya, they give all these markings, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. All these weapons are there in my hands. So I've touched. So all that markings are done. In this way, all samskaras of his initiation are done. So you accept him. The Lord is confused. How to accept? Then the Lord remembers. If he could have offended me, I would have easily forgiven him. But he has hurt you. He has offended you. I cannot forgive him. Mother Sita is calmly saying, okay, you are called as the father of the creation, right? He says, yes, I am the father of the entire creation. Pitahamasya jagato mata dhata pitam. So if you are the father, by that definition, I become the mother of the entire creation. He says, yes. So he is my son. Okay. The Lord doesn't understand. He says, what does that mean? Then Mother Sita explains. When the child comes out of the body of a mother, so he has the natural tendency to suck the breast of the mother. Okay. And as the child grows, 5 months, 6 months, over a period of time, he starts developing teeth. And while sucking the breast of the mother, at times, due to the agitation that is happening within the teeth, he tends to bite the breast of the mother, the nipples of the mother. And when the child bites the breast of the mother happily endures the pain. She is happy that my child is developing teeth. And she is happy and she happily endures the pain. So Mother Sita is saying, if an ordinary mother has that proclivity to happily endure the pain given by her child, I am the supreme mother. I have the love of unlimited mothers in my heart. So she says this person is not at all an offender. He is abodha. He is immature. He is nothing but a abodha balak. That is what she says to the son of Indra. But Lord says he is not abodh. He is the son of Indra. He is the student of Brahaspati. He knows everything. He is a grown-up person. What Mother Sita says? He may be grown up for you, but for me, Jayanta is like a kid. His guru told him, go and fall at the feet of Lord Ram. See how he is falling. He should have fallen with his feet, but he is falling with his feet up. He is on his back. He doesn't even understand how to offer respect to the Lord. See how abodh he is, how childish he is. And still you say he knows everything. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't know how to respect you. So this is how the Daya Shakti, the compassionate side of the Lord, as Srimati Radharani or Srimati Sita Devi, becomes the advocate of the Jiva. And then the Lord has to accept. But now the Lord says, I have one problem. What is the problem? See, I have already converted that blade of grass into Brahmastra. And what is my name? My name is Maryada Purushottam. It is my Maryada. I am a Kshatriya king. Now that I have released the weapon, it has to hit something. It has to have an object. So give me that object. Then Mother Sita says, see, it is your Brahmastra. So it is your problem. It is not my problem. Okay. So you deal with your problem. I want that you forgive this child. So Lord says, this is partiality. Then Mother Sita says, see, you are the final authority. You pass judgment over all the jivas. But I am partial to this jiva. Since I have said you have to accept this, you have to forgive him. Now the Lord is like, he says, I can't do anything. Then the Lord says, at least let my words come true that this Brahmastra has to hit. Then Jayant himself says, okay, take one of my eye. And that is how the eye of a crow, he has only one eye which is functional, other is always dysfunctional. Now the Acharyas give a beautiful commentary to this. What was the benefit for Jayant, Indra's son, by taking away one of his eye? See, when we have two eyes, it becomes a dual situation. Okay, and this world is called as the world of duality. Two eye means there will always be good, bad, hot, cold, nice, I don't like, I don't like. All these things will be the duality. So by breaking one of the eye, his duality is broken. Now he'll see things as they are, perfect. So why did the Lord break Jayanta's eye? He punished Jayanta. Okay, Danda was given to Jayanta. There is no doubt that Danda was not given. But at the same time, Daya was also shown that, okay, you fell at the feet of Lord Ram, that is your success. So by taking away one eye, his duality was lost. How? Because initially he considered Mother Sita as some ordinary beautiful lady. Now he could understand the glories of Mother Sita. And through Mother Sita, he understood the glory of Lord Ram. He came to the conclusion that seemingly they are two different people, but actually they are one. Because one eye, there is no two. So duality is gone. So he saw both of them as one. They are one, but they are manifested as two. They are two, but actually they are one. This duality was broken, and hence he could see. His Bhed Buddhi was broken. Destroying one eye means what? The Bhed Buddhi has now gone. He can see these things as they are. But see the compassionate side of Mother Sita. She's still not satisfied. She's saying, my son, people will call him as Kana. Kana means one eye is not functioning. That is in Hindi we call Kana. Okay. So what to do? Lord said, I have destroyed one eye. I have destroyed, given him the benefit of breaking his duality. Now you take care of the other part. You are advocating for it. Then Mother Sita says, okay. Even though he has one eye, but his eyes will move so fast that nobody in the entire creation will know that crows have only one eye. So in that way, externally he may have two eyes, internally only one, but people will think both his eyes are functional. So this is how Daya and Danda is reconciled in the devotee community. This is very crucial point to understand. Okay, now the Lord is very confused. If she stays here, it will be difficult for me to establish dharma. She will not even spare Ravan. Even if Ravan comes, she will forgive him. So he calls Lakshman, come here, take her inside. Keep her inside. Till when? Till Ravana is over. And how is she kept inside? She is kept inside by that event when she has been kidnapped. Okay, so why is Ravana saved for 11 months? Because Mother Sita is there with him. That is why he is being saved. As soon as he is separated from Mother Sita, he comes to the war front, he is over. So when Mother Sita was with Ravan, what is she saying? She is so Sharnagat Vatsal. She is so concerned about the Jivas. She knows. She says to Ravan, in Valmiki Rishi says this, she knows that my son Ravan is a duffer. His ego is so highly flared that he will not accept surrender. If I tell him surrender to Ram, he says, I will not surrender. Word surrender will hit him like a thunderbolt. And that is why she says what? She doesn't say surrender to Ram. She says, be friends with Ram and he will accept all your proposal. Don't worry. Just be friends with the Lord Ram. She knows what words to use to connect. So her duty is nothing but to somehow connect the Jiva with Krishna, with Ram. That's it. What do gurus do? The role of guru, the Vatsalya, just like your mother Sita is showing the Vatsalya by somehow trying to connect even Ravan to Ram. That same Vatsalya Shri Guru carries in their heart. The Vatsalya of an ordinary mother will create bondage in the samsara. But the same Vatsalya of the Guru will remove us from the samsara. That is the difference. Vatsalya is same, but one Vatsalya will keep us bound here. One Vatsalya will keep us out of the samsara. So that is how Daya and Danda both have to be reconciled. However, the negative side the person may have. Where is the focus of the Lord lying? Just like the Vishnu Dutas, in the entire 88-year span of Ajamil At a very young age, he got attracted to that prostitute, maybe 20, 25. Rest of all the 50 years is nothing but a lump of sins. They chose to what? To see where? They chose to focus on the place which has connection with the Supreme Lord. That is his chanting of the holy name. I'll conclude with one more pastime from Bhagavatam 10th canto, that how the Lord is crazy to establish his relationship with anybody and everybody who has come. He'll focus on only one thing. How are you connected to me? Tell me that. And that beautiful example is that of Putana. Okay. In Nimbarka Sampradaya, the Acharyas write this point, that how did Putana come? Kapata yuktena pi aradhito. They are saying, how did she worship the Lord? Kapata yuktena, she worshipped the Lord with kapat, with duplicity, with malicious motive. Tad yasya bhavati iti shuchitam. And still the Lord was easily controlled by her deceit, by her kapat, happily controlled by her deceit. Now you may say, how do you understand that he was controlled by her deceit? Two examples Acharyas give. When Putana entered, okay, when Putana entered, we'll recap it. When the Lord appeared, okay, the girl who was born to Mother Yashoda was taken by Vasudevji. Okay, Vasudevji took the girl, and who was that girl? She was Durga, who is the Bahiranga Shakti of the Lord. So as soon as the Lord enters Vrindavan, there is absolute no scope for the Bahiranga Shakti. So whatever is happening is according to the internal energy of the Lord. There is no external energy. There is no work for her. Okay. And when there is no work for the external energy, then how is it that Putana is able to enter? Means the internal energy of the Lord allowed Putana to enter. And who is the controller of the internal energy? Krishna. Means Krishna allowed Putana to enter Vrindavan. Okay. How did Krishna get controlled? How to understand that Krishna got controlled? Kapata yuktena aradhito. Let's take one more example. When Trinavarta came, and all of a sudden, Mother Yashoda, who was carrying Krishna on her lap, she started feeling that Krishna has become so heavy that I cannot hold my child. So there Krishna told that I am not willing to be held by you anymore. You keep me down. Exact contrary you will see here. Krishna is lying there on his bed, and Putana comes, and easily before Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini, Krishna allowed her to pick up. This is how the Acharya says, he was so happy, even with the kapata yuktena aradhito, that worship with kapat, he allowed Putana. Why? Because he liked her deceit. And one of the 5 reasons that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives as to why Lord Krishna didn't open his eyes when Putana took him on his lap. So this is how the Acharyas help us connect with Krishna, our minds with Krishna. So Krishna, why he didn't open his eyes? Because he understood that there was deceit in her mind. Excuse me, please. Krishna knew that she had deceit in her mind, but Krishna was so happy even with that deceit. So he thought, if I open my eyes, she'll not be able to cheat me. So let her keep cheating me. At least she's connected to me. She's investing her minds in me. She's thinking about how to deal with this baby. And that is exactly what Rupa Goswami says. Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayat. Somehow or other, favorable or unfavorable, think about Krishna. That is the success of life. That is the success of life. So Daya and Danda both are balanced by Lord. Just like Danda was given to Putana, he corrected her. So correction means there is some discrepancy or imperfection. Correction means there is a scope of improvement, and correction also means that it is a sign of love. How? Let's take an example. Prithu Maharaj and Indra. Indra's imperfection was shown. He was seen to the entire world. Now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a very brilliant point. He says, who is this Indra? He is nothing other than Lord Yajna, who is Lord Vishnu himself, because that Manvantar there was no Indra. So Lord himself had become Indra. And that Lord Vishnu himself is doing this act of cheating. Acharya says, why did Lord act like this? He wanted to show that when a person, if he is not at all feeling secure, if his insecurity is triggered somehow or other, he can go to any extent. If he's not emotionally stable, he can go to any extent, even at the cost of causing great damage to the society. Okay. So Indra was told to refine, says don't give this kind of responses. And at the same time, Prithu, who was not at all wrong, was also told to refine his responses. Prithu was said, start thinking beyond right and wrong, because material world means right and wrong. Spiritual world, there is nothing right and there is nothing wrong. So Prithu Maharaj was also given time to refine his emotion towards Indra, because he has to understand this person is in a diseased state of mind. He cannot handle himself. That is why he is behaving like this. So in any situation, how to decide whether it is right or wrong, there is only one response a devotee should be giving. Is the Lord pleased? How to check in any situation if this response is right or wrong? Is the Lord pleased or not? Lord was not pleased by Prithu Maharaj continuing the 100th yajna. He said, stop it, I don't want this. As soon as Prithu Maharaj stopped, Lord was so happy. So at 99, Prithu Maharaj got the benefit of 100 yajna. What is the criteria? Is the Lord pleased or not? And not only sadhakas are corrected by the Lord, even the siddhas are corrected by the Lord. Example, Ras Leela. Gopis, we worship them to someday serve them, somehow serve them. Ras Leela is an exclusive example where Lord even corrected their emotions. This is not the right kind of emotions. If you want to associate with me, you will have to give up your pride, because that doesn't suit me, because that is not there in my swabhava. That is not part of my swabhava to become pride. How can you become pride? If two people have to have a healthy relationship, they should be of the same nature. Lord even corrected the gopis by leaving that place, because you are not in the right emotional balanced state. You cannot associate with me. So that is why Prabhupada has named our society what? Krishna consciousness. What is consciousness all about? About emotions. Are our emotions flowing towards Krishna? Material world is called Jad Jagat, and spiritual world is called Bhava Jagat. It is world of emotions. And who is the topmost emotionally evolved person? Srimati Radha. She knows exactly the emotions of Krishna. She knows the best possible way to fulfill the emotions of Krishna. So if we really want to enter the spiritual world, we will have to first understand our emotions and the emotion Krishna has for us, and what emotions he would want us to understand, so that we can very happily and easily serve him. So just to reconcile in one shloka, let's understand the emotions Krishna has for the jiva. In 9.30, Krishna says, Api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bha sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito. Even here, what is Krishna saying? Not dur achar. Achar is behavior. Durachar means bad behavior. Krishna is saying sudurachar, worst behavior. Krishna says, I don't focus there. Sadhu reva samantavya. I see the person who is connected to me as a sadhu. Sadhu reva samantavya. For me, he is a sadhu. He is a refined person. It's only a matter of time. Bhajate maam ananya bhag. Because I am not focusing on his sudurachar, I am focusing on his bhajate. How? Ananya bhag. With full surrender, with full faith. I will focus there. And that is how Krishna considers that devotee as a sadhu. So if we could somehow or the other, by the mercy of Sri Guru, Gauranga, we could develop this vision, then very easily we can approach Krishna. Thank you all so much for your patient hearing. Kindly excuse me if I have committed any mistake in my presentation. But if you have found something good, I have all heard and repeated it, what I've heard from our authority. Thank you all. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And requesting devotees, if anybody have any questions, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji, and very nice stories you narrated. Thank you so much. So my question is like, when Vasudev took Yogamaya out of Vrindavan, because there is no need of Yogamaya. So
She is Mahamaya. She is Mahamaya. Durga.
Durga, okay. Yeah. So who is Puranmasi then? Puranmasi, and there is a Yogamaya Mandir also in Vrindavan.
Yeah. So Purnamasi is the actual internal potency of the Lord. The reference comes, is given in our Gaudiya Acharyas. They write this point that what happens to the other, how to understand the internal potency. So when Krishna enters through Vasudev in Vrindavan, that is the time when she gets active. And who is that internal energy? They say she is Purnamasi, who will now take control of the charge of Krishna Lila. So she is the one who orchestrates the entire Lila, who should come in, who should go out, what should be the emotions of the Vrajvasis, just like Yashoda Mai and Rohini Mata. They both got so attracted by Putana's beauty and demeanor. So they got carried away and they didn't speak a word. It was only revealed when she came to her original form. So all this is orchestrated by the internal energy, who is none other than Purnamasi.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Sukumar
Krishna,
Gaur,
Dandavat Pranam
Prabhuji. Please accept my humble
nice to see you.
obeisances. All
Nice
glories
to
to
see
Srila
you.
Prabhupada. I'm so happy to see you today. And your class was amazing as usual. You always give us such depth to each and every pastime that you share with us. That pastime with Sita, Mother Sita, was just beautiful. And I'm also very grateful to you for your explanation of Prayaschitta, because to me, atonement never fit properly. I felt like it was too superficial for what Prayaschitta really means. So I wanted to ask you if you could please just tell us your definition, or the definition that you gave at the beginning of Prayaschitta, about how it's going back to our natural state. If you could just say a little bit more about, because I heard it, but I didn't get to write it all down.
I'll
Thank you. Thank you.
I gave this example of a person who is deceased, and if he has to come back to his original healthy state of body and mind, so he has to do all those things which he was doing when he was healthy, along with taking of medications. Okay, so in modern psychology, it is called as imitating the perfect healthy state. There was a perfect state which he had, but he has lost it now. So whatever activities, what he will be doing to get that state becomes his prayaschitta.
Okay.
So what we were doing in the spiritual world, if you start doing it now, automatically our original state is revived. That is what is called as imitating. It is not there, but we are just imitating. And that imitation has its own effect, and naturally we revive our actual healthy state of mind and soul. That is how we do that.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. It reminds me of when Srila Prabhupada was quoted as saying, sometimes we have to kind of fake it till we make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So prayashchita is nothing but doing what we were doing in the spiritual world, and naturally that's the only medicine that is prescribed in the Shastra. The rest all are artificial medications.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Again, I'm so happy to see you. It's been so long since you've given class for us, and I hope that you can come back more frequently again, because I really miss your classes. Very bold.
Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much. Hare Krishna. So happy to see you and Deen Bandhu Prabhu and Mataji always there. It's pleasure to be seeing all of you wonderful devotees in the West, practicing in spite of so many temptations and distractions, staying focused. Deen Bandhu Prabhu ki jai. Please accept obeisances. Mataji, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you after a long time.
Prabhuji, may I go ahead?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Yes.
There are some chat questions also, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mataji has put message for you.
Yeah, Prahlanand Prabhuji, you can go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you very much, Mataji. And my Danvat Pranam to Prabhuji Sukumar Gaurdas. I would use two words for whole your class. One is captivating, and the second thing is spellbound. I did not miss even one word, and I was so.
All goes to my Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Was really a spiritual experience, actually. All right. So my question is: you said that Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to four analogies, and one of them I know is the sun.
Sun.
Other one is Mohini Murti, which I came to know today only.
Yeah, there is one more that is ripened fruit, and other is lamb. These four analogies.
Okay. So other two I was not coming. So one is ripened fruit. Yeah, that's the third slok. Yeah, and the other one lamb. Okay.
Lamb.
Where is that?
Deepam Ati Titirsha Andam, that comes in.
I see. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, very good.
Lamp analogy.
Another small point is about the incidents of Jayant and Sita Mataji and Lord Rama there. So similar thing did happen with Ambarish and Durvasa.
Yes,
that's a Lord Vishnu.
Perfect.
Lord Vishnu.
I had that, but I thought it would be overtime, so I didn't take that. But absolutely, thank you, Prabhuji, for reminding.
So that was my one thing which I like that.
Perfect.
And,
perfect.
And if you allow me another one moment.
Yes,
the analogy you got from that pharmacist about, I'm physician by profession. So
sorry. That could.
But no, this is very true. That modern science, despite all this advancement like that, I myself am also diabetic. And now the latest thing they have come is with the insulin pump. I'm a diabetic type 2. So insulin pump. But all these advancements actually cannot solve the problem of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. So it's kind of, as you are saying, that material world is duality. And, that is what it is like that. But the real solution, Bhava Usada Srutra Manobhiramat. This is only medicine for all of us. Thank you very much for allowing to speak.
Thank you.
And, I wish that you come often to this class, which is actually Bhava Usad, This class itself is a Bhava Usad. With that, I'll take your permission.
Thank you,
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, Akara Prabhuji, go ahead, Prabhuji, with your question.
So wonderful, Sukumar Prabhu. So from the answers which you told, I got some small things I want to just find out. You told about that we should get connected to Krishna's emotion, and Radharani knows the best. So, and you also told we're doing devotional service. We don't know what really they do it, but keeping doing like this, one day the sur se sur mil jayega. Is it right that we will get connected to Krishna's same fine tuning?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Right, Prabhu. And there's one point. Another thing, Prabhuji, about this Purnamasi, you told she's internal potency, and Durga Devi we call as external Bahiranga Shakti, and Radharani as Antaranga Shakti. Then Shubhadra Maya they call Yoga Maya. So ye kaise, that is, she is connecting the internal and external. I want to know how it exactly works. Subhadra Maya. Subhadra Maya, they called Yoga Maya. One is Mahamaya.
Yes. So Subhadra, Maharani, all have their specific roles in Krishna Lila, and it is only used to nourish the rasa. Okay, just like Purnamasi is orchestrating all the pastime in Vrindavan.
Okay.
In Vrindavan. So similarly, Yoga Maya has the domain of to whom to allow in Krishna Lila. May it be, because there are three Krishna Lilas. One is Dwarka, one is Mathura, and one is Vrindavan. So this Yoga Maya will have the domain of which devotee to allow in Krishna Lila and for what time. So that becomes her domain. So that is what she is orchestrating in Krishna Lila.
That's why she was waiting when they were telling stories. Subhadra was standing on the gate and Krishna and Balaram came behind. And by the time Subhadra's eyes has come out, and by hearing Jagannath Baladev also, they also become like that. So she was only trying to find out whom to allow, whom not to allow. Gatekeeper.
She was the gatekeeper. Correct. Right. Correct. The same point.
Today your class has really opened a lot of doors. Really, I'm sure you are a great devotee of the Lord. You are really a pure devotee. Radhanath Maharaj ki jai, because I really love Radhanath Maharaj, all the disciples. I'm Japtak Maharaj disciple, but I got Radhanath Maharaj in my altar. My Guru Maharaj said you can keep him as a Shiksha Guru. So I thank all of you in Chapati Prabhu. East or West, Chapati is the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Suresham Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Very nice class. Prabhuji, I have two questions, Prabhu. In this, when this episode begins, there it is said that we see Parikshit Maharaj it is mentioned that we should summarize the lecture, like summarize and then ask a question. But many instances we don't have time to summarize. We just appreciate the speaker and move forward, Prabhu. Right? So that is my first question, Prabhu. So how, Prabhu. Right.
So your question is, should we elaborate or not? Is that the question?
Should we summarize or not? It is mentioned that better to summarize, appreciate, and then ask the question.
Yes.
But if 10 people are asking question and we don't have time, right, Prabhu, each one appreciating, what the speaker has said.
Yes. Bhagavat has this tradition of continuously appreciating both the speaker and the hearer. Every canto you will see Parikshit Maharaj taking a recap, glorifying Shukdev Goswami with the exclusive purpose that please continue, I want to hear more. Even this episode, Shukdev Goswami is testing his disciple, and when 9th canto ends, Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami will conclude the entire Krishna Katha in few shlokas. And Parikshit Maharaj is highly upset. He says, how can this happen? I have been waiting all the while to hear Krishna Katha. So the start of 10th canto begins with exclusive glorification of, with a recap and exclusive glorification of Shukdev Goswami, that you are so great and you know everything in and out. So please start with great detail the Krishna Lila. So what you are saying is absolutely the protocol, but accordingly with time, place, circumstances, I don't know how the speaker can do that. It depends. But that is the tradition of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's always been the tradition of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, from the here listener perspective, that also, we should appreciate and mention some points from the speaker, right, Prabhu? Like Parikshit Maharaj was mentioning few points, how he summarized about Swayambhuva Manu and
correct.
Right. But we don't have time, right, Prabhu? Just go to the question directly. So is it okay like that, or again depending on the time circumstance?
It depends upon what kind of audience we have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Prabhuji, one more question here. Just before this verse, there's a conversation happening between Yamadutas and Vishnu Dutas. And then if I see next verse, I think Yamaduta start speaking. So why does Sukadeva Goswami, suddenly one verse is coming where Sukadeva Goswami is narrating this verse, Prabhu? Like why does this happen? We see it often, right?
That is explained by acharyas. Even if you see the 10th canto, especially in the Rasa Panchadhyaya, he at times gets so ecstatic because he is a devout follower and highly devoted to Lord Krishna. So that at times there is a surge in the speaker. What should I tell? So at times we tend to see that Sukadeva Goswami tends to lose the track of the flow. Even in 10th canto, you will see that Ras Leela, he says now the gopis will start glorifying Krishna, but the glorification will come 2 chapters later. So he has been seen because there is that emotional surge that is happening in the speaker because he has to give. But at the same time, he has a pressure because this question is asked even in Prabodhananda Saraswati writes this. He says, why didn't Shukdev Goswami elaborate on the Rasa Panchadhyaya? So Prabodhananda Saraswati says he didn't elaborate because he found no audience suitable for hearing Ras Leela. That is why he concluded it in very brief, in very short, because the audience is not capable to handle the subject matter. Because when the gopis are having the Rasa dance, the audience are themselves disturbed. How can this happen? So that is the question Parikshit Maharaj will be asking. So what you are saying is true. There is emotional upsurge. That is why the event flow is breaking. And that is why Jiva Goswami has written Krama Sandarbha at actually how the event has flown. So if you want to understand the flow of event, there is an entire separate book based on Bhagavat written by Jiva Goswami called Krama Sandarbha. So this is how the events have flowed. But why they were mismatched is because the speaker is very emotionally upsurged. That's how we explain.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada and your class, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Chat questions,
Yes, Mataji.
We'll take few chat questions and then we can go to read. Chat questions are put long back.
Yeah. Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. Prabhu, your classes are really nectarian. I don't know how you get these pastimes one after other on sequence. No idea how do you get this. So that what I mean is, Bhagavatam itself is nectarian, but the speaker with this nectarian, sequential nectarian classes really opens our heart and attracts the audience, Prabhu. I think that this is what an example of what exactly the Srimad Bhagavatam means and what is this exchange of thoughts. How, in spite of the heart is so hard, it becomes softer when we hear this kind of nectarian classes. So wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I had one thought, not thought, kind of a confusion always. How do you define the role of Purnamasi and Vrunda Devi in Vrindavan?
Okay. So Purnamasi, there is something in a film, we have a script writer and there is somebody who executes the script. Okay. So script writing is done by Purnamasi, execution is done by Vrinda. That is how they work together in Krishna.
Oh, wonderful. Awesome, Prabhuji. I never heard this kind of explanation. Very nice.
All old samskaras coming up.
Because when I go to Vrindavan, Vrindakund, I feel so blessed. I don't know how and why. Vrunda Devi is so merciful. And in fact, we always say the priest there explains that she is the manager of Vrindavan. She manages. Now I understand how that manager is. So the instructions comes from Purnamasi and Vrunda Devi executes. Excellent. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we have some questions in the chat box. I will read, Prabhuji. From Jyoti Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. What is the interface between emotions and feelings, and what is starting point of emotions?
Very, very important question, Mataji. This I was recently hearing to His Holiness Bhakti Vigyan Goswami Maharaj. Last year, he has given 2 classes on emotional intelligence. They're there on YouTube. You can hear them. Very basic classes, speaking on Gita chapter number 3. That is where I also had a very broad understanding of emotions. So emotions actually interface. See, Krishna is perfect in emotions. Okay, we are not that perfect in emotions. So for a sadhaka, the first step is he has to understand his own emotions. Most of the devotees are not able to understand what they are going through at that given point of time. Okay, because there are 2 things. There is emotion and there is a need because of which that emotion is coming. And as soon as you fulfill that need, that emotion will subside. Most of the devotees are, first of all, not able to understand their emotions. So forget about the need part. And that is where they remain in a very unhealthy state of mind and body. Mind will automatically affect the body. And hence they are not able to taste, or they are not able to move ahead in Krishna consciousness. So the very first step is to try and understand what my emotions right now are. Is it fear? Is it hurt? Is it shame? What is it that I'm going through? And once I understand my emotions, then I can find a way to fulfill that and clear out that emotion. And once those emotions settle down, that is the point where we start experiencing Krishna. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult to experience Krishna in sadhana bhakti. So till the point our emotions are at rest, at peace, forget about understanding Krishna. We cannot move ahead. So this is the first point we have to understand. Understand our own self. And when I am at peace with my own self, then comes understanding Krishna. Otherwise, there is no Krishna. It is only struggle, and only struggle. Okay, Mataji?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And one more question from Preeti Vilasini Mataji. Thank you for the very beautiful class full of excellent lessons. Lord, the point of how the Lord sees only the good in spite of the ocean of faults we have. Prabhuji, can you throw more light on the reference for the story of the crow getting advised from Narada before proceeding to Mother Sita? I understand that it was Sita who pushed me bird around such that his head touched the Lord's feet. Please, can you elaborate on the reference so we can read more?
Yeah, these stories are from the Shri Sampradaya. Acharyas have given commentary to this episode. There is book on Ramayana by Tirumala Devasthanam. You can find all these stories there.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And one more question from Lalitangi Mata, Lalita and Dinabandhu Prabhuji. Dear Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji, please accept our most humble obeisances. How you presented Srimad Bhagavatam today has answered questions I have had for most of my spiritual life. I am astounded. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Mother is always astounded by what the child speaks.
And one more thing. Mahendra Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, such a beautiful class. You have narrated the story of Jayant very beautifully. By that we know how Mother Sita and Mother Radharani's loves for their children. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Those are the comments, Prabhuji. Is anybody else we have questions?
Okay, so can we end the session?
Yes, Prabhuji. If nobody have any questions, we can end that call here, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening class today. We are very grateful to you and we look forward to your association again and again in the future. Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji.
Namo Namaha.
Thank you.
Grand Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
All assembled
Gauranga.
devotees ki
Nityananda.
jai.
Jai.
Jai Sukumar Gaur Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai. Gauranga. Nityananda. Gauranga.
Radhe Radhe.
Nityananda.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Shyam. Thank you, everybody.
Hare
Wonderful
Krishna.
devotees. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Prabhu. Lalita, did you see my message in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
devotees, does anyone know where dear Govinda Prabhuji has been? We haven't seen him in a long time. Does anyone know? Dear Govinda Prabhuji in New Jersey?
Went, I messaged him, Mataji. Even I was missing him. He went for a vacation. He said that he will be joining soon. I will be contacting him again. Yeah,
okay.
He's such a sweet person. Even I was missing him. He's like a very elderly person and he's so sweet. I don't know why he's not joining. I was little worried about him, why he was not joining. Recently, I messaged him. He said some vacation to other place as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Yes,
I'll be messaging him again today.
Association. He's so sweet. Yes. And
But Sukumar Prabhu touched my heart today. Sukumar Prabhu is really the best. Really so great.
Oh, you just wait, Prabhuji. When you get more classes from him, he's so special. So special. Yeah. We're so fortunate to have his association.
Thanks to all of you. Thank you very much. I'm indebted to you all.
I'm indebted to all as well.
All Matajis who started this, I want to touch their feet,
Yeah, they are amazing.
This is such a spiritual experience. Actually, we experience the bliss, we experience the bliss of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is, so
I'll
rare.
come to USA to touch all your feet. I'll come there. See.
Prabhuji, you should just come to the US anyway. And just visit the temples and see 26th Second Avenue.
Very soon.
Yes,
Maybe in
please
6 months'
come.
time.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. In today's class, we'll meet again tomorrow. I'm so sorry because it's closing time.
Yes.
Waiting to meet tomorrow.
Very cool. Yes. Happy Ekadasi to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Same to you.
Gauranga.
Nityananda.